happened to Tyrion? Hi everyone, I'm Sandrine here on Happy Cool and welcome to a new review for Game of Thrones. This episode was called The Watchers of the Wall. Let's talk about it. Now, it was a very different episode of Game of Thrones that we've ever had before. I think it's the first episode of Game of Thrones that stays in one place for the entire episode. So that was interesting. And while I can't say that there was much story development, there were some great scenes and great moments. So let's start by talking about Sam. The reunion between Sam and Gilly was so sweet. I love these two so much and I'm really rooting for them to survive it all because so far they're still in danger, so I don't know, fingers crossed. But I gotta say, Sam is stepping up his game, seriously. Now that he has someone that he cares about and that he wants to protect, it's like he's on. When he shot that arrow at that thin guy in his head, that was crazy. I was like, holy crap, Sam! Whoa! Ygritte. First of all, Ygritte standing up to that thin guy. But poor Ygritte got an arrow in her back from a kid. To be fair, she did kill a lot of the people in his village, so... Am I sad that she's dead? I can't say that I'm heartbroken about it. I'm definitely not as heartbroken as I still am about Oberyn. But it was a sweet last moment between her and Jon Snow. I wish it could have ended in a different way. But it's Game of Thrones, so somebody's gotta die. I'm just glad it wasn't Jon Snow. Speaking of Jon Snow, first of all, he's a badass. I mean, fight scenes were freaking awesome. And I'm so glad that he was put in charge, sneakily put in charge, I should say, because he seems to know a lot more of what to do than some of the other guys in command, so. Probably my favorite moment was, of course, when he's fighting the huge, thin guy. I was like, holy crap. And he was totally holding his own. Come on, I think Jon Snow totally stepped up as a character this season. I am liking him more and more each episode, so I hope he makes it the battle. There were just so many great moments throughout the battle that what I'm going to do now is just give you some of my favorite moments from the battle. In no specific order. The signal from Ryder, the biggest fire the North has ever seen. It was pretty massive. Yeah, he's a man of his word. I love the moment at the beginning of the fight when Thorne is like, draw, and then that barrel just kind of tumbles down and it's like just a little moment of comic relief, which I thought was great. It just brought back a little bit of reality in the sense that things are not perfect in battle. Movies make you think that they are, but you know, sometimes the barrel just goes crashing down before its time. They had giant arrows to kill the giants. It was pretty badass. I was like, holy crap, giant arrow! The fight between Tormund, Giant's Bane, and Alistair Thorne. The scene in which the giant is running towards the crows and they're reciting their oath, pretty powerful stuff. And they cut right before you find out what happens, of course. There was also a scene in which you saw the camera move from one place to another, showing us the action unfold throughout the wall. It was pretty cool. The giant scythe. That was freaking impressive. Whoosh, ghost! They let him out for a second. I just wish we had seen more of him. Did he just kind of stop fighting with Jon? I was just like, what happened to Ghost? Where is he? Speaking of wanting to see more of people, I'd like to see more of Ed. And that's just because I like the actor portraying him, Ben Crumpton, who stars in a show I love called Pamface. He's so funny in that. He's so great in Game of Thrones. Every time I see him, I'm like, oh, I love him. And I think the saddest part of this whole thing is that despite this whole battle, they're still outnumbered 1,000 to 1. That's crazy! And the aftermath. Jon Snow knowing that they pretty much can't win. I mean, 1,000 to 1. You know, they're not Spartans, so chances are they won't make it. So he is now on a quest to go kill Mance. Not sure how he plans on doing that, but I'm rooting for him. And to be honest, I'm not even sure we'll find out what happens this season. Which would suck so bad because we're like have to wait a year. So I guess we'll find out next week. Speaking of next week, the only thing I pretty much got out of the preview was dragons! Yeah, can you tell I'm excited? But next week also means finale, which is crazy. 10 episodes go by so fast. But at least we have one more episode left, one more episode to blow our minds, one more episode to make us go crazy for a year. Whew, I'm ready, I think. I hope. I don't know. But that's pretty much all I got for you this week. Unfortunately, as you know, we close the comments to avoid spoilers, but you can always find me on Twitter and Facebook. Also, make sure to subscribe to Happy Cool so you don't miss my last Game of Thrones review. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye!